Hello and welcome back to the Rope Access and Climbing Podcast. I am your host, Mikey Stevenson, and today I'm going to be talking about something I'm not too fond of. If this is your first time here, please make sure to subscribe and follow us wherever you get your podcasts, so stay tuned. Step into your harness and get ready for a podcast about the vertical world. All right, well, thank you very much for tuning into today's episode. Like I said, I'm going to be talking about something I didn't really want to bring up. Not something I really wanted to talk about. But I do need to get this off my chest. So currently right now, we are in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic. This virus has spread all over the world, and every country around the world has reacted to the pandemic in its own little way. Even here in Canada, province to province has reacted to it drastically different. This episode here, I'm not going to be bringing up any, facts or any of that sort of stuff. It doesn't matter. But I do need to talk about this. I do need to get this off my chest. As you know, obviously, I'm an individual that likes to talk, and this is a topic that I've pushed off for a very long time until now. So, first and foremost, I don't really care if you're a believer or if you're not, or I don't care what you think. I don't care whatever. It doesn't matter. And that's probably not the best way to start this episode, but what I want to talk about here mostly is the situation in that I'm currently in. So as I record this, I am currently in isolation in my home because I have been a close contact to multiple people that tested positive to the COVID-19 virus. This occurred at work, and I work with a great group of people. Unfortunately, the virus made it into our very close group of people, and unfortunately, a lot of us are isolating for the minimum of 2 weeks based on our government requirements. Now, I also would like to say that this is the third time since the beginning of the pandemic that I have been in isolation. So a total of 6 weeks, unless I'm instructed otherwise here. This could extend it. But as of right now, I'm looking at 6 weeks total over 3 periods of isolation. But I do know that there are a lot of people here that may not be in the same place as I am. And what I mean by that is mental health. A lot of people have lost loved ones. They've lost relationships. They've lost their cars, their homes. They've lost their businesses, big, small, medium businesses. A lot of people are in a way worse situation than I am. And what I'm trying to get to here is it's okay to not be okay. I'm going to be leaving some links in the description below for those individuals that think that they need to reach out and get some help. It's okay to ask for help. The whole point of this conversation is be kind to one another, be respectful to one another. No matter what your beliefs are, this is not a time to be selfish. This is not a time to be a dick. This is the time to look beside you, look at the person working with you, and ask them if they're okay. You don't know the state that people are in until you ask questions. You have to be mindful of everyone around you. And this isn't about you. This is about your parents. This is about your grandparents. This is about their friends, their family, their grandparents. The biggest thing that people will come back and in the comments, I'm sure everyone's going to come back and say, oh, well, the the probability of getting sick, like severely sick and put in the ICU is, whatever percent. It doesn't matter. We work in an environment that safety's number one. We work in an environment that we implement all this safety protocol, our hazard assessments. We work in an environment that we have to wear all this PPE to keep you safe. But yet, you don't have the decency to keep your brother or sister safe by following a few extra rules in the short term for long-term gain. You're more worried about the short-term gain and not worried about the future. You're not worried about the people that may be actually affected more by this than yourself. You don't care about the person that is in the corner suffering and doesn't feel comfortable talking about something because you don't make them feel comfortable. One of the leading causes to depression is financial instability. And if anything at all has happened here during the pandemic is the financial instability. Like I said, I've been out of work for 6 weeks by the time of this isolation is over the last year. That's 6 weeks of work that I missed out on. You remove that ability for people to work, you increase that, you can increase depression, you increase the likelihood of suicide. Everyone here probably knows somebody or knows somebody. They're just holding on, just holding on to the last little line of life to hope, last little bit of hope. Depression does a lot of things to a lot of people, and you don't want to be the cause of that being worse. Reach out to your friends and family. Make sure that your loved ones know that you're around and willing to listen. Like I said, don't be a dick and care for one another. As I was on my way to go into isolation, I was talking to a buddy of mine. He left me with a quote, and as I quote, I read this off my monitor here. If someone says it's raining and another person says it's dry, it's not your job to quote both. Your job is to look out the fucking window and find out for yourself. I want to leave that with you. That quote is very powerful because this isn't about what one person says or another person says. It's about you being honorable and careful and respectful to one another and looking out for one another and telling your own story. This isn't about you. This is about everybody. And where I'm working right now, I'm stuck in this pandemic inside a pandemic. And our government has done some pretty radical things. I'm not saying that everything that they've done is good. I'm not saying that everything they've done is bad. I'm not saying that you have to follow the stats. I'm not saying that you don't have to. I'm not saying that you should believe in this or you shouldn't believe in this. What I'm saying is have respect for the person beside you. If you test positive, then that person has to isolate. You may have the ability to financially support yourself. That's great. Kudos to you. But unfortunately, that person beside you may be that individual that is just holding on for dear life to keep their house, keep their marriage together. They may be in a lot of depression right now and you don't know it. This isn't your time to judge them. This isn't your time to not care about them. This is the time to be respectful, and your actions matter. Your actions affect somebody else. I've kind of looked at it, and on the average, one person testing positive, there's probably 3 or 4 people that have to isolate because they're close contacts like myself. That cripples a work crew pretty quick. And unfortunately, it is the reality that we live in today. Now, that's obviously where I live. I know that, like I said, I'm speaking to people from all over the world, and I don't know what your regulations are there, but I needed to get this off my chest. All right. So, at the end of the day, let me know in the comments below how you're doing. How are you doing? Don't be afraid to reach out to friends and family and ask for help. Don't be afraid to seek out professional help, and I will leave some links in the description below for those individuals in obviously my area that you just need that helping hand. Mental health is a major problem that we live with today, and we're here to help each other. Be respectful, be kind. All right. So if you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe to my channel, hit the bell for notifications as I post new content every Sunday. Follow us wherever you get your podcasts. And until next time.